Welcome to this video presentation of ServiceTool, an easy tool to read and customize a vehicle. So let's start with an example of a vehicle. Here we have a pump inverter and two tractions and some custom nodes. With our previous tool, the Drivetool, we would need a EPF or EDS for each node along with a setting file for each node. Drivetool will then load these files, and with this we can connect to one of the nodes. If we want to communicate with the next node, we have to load the other files and connect to that node, one at a time. Also with the communication of the vehicle. A vehicle has a lot of parameters. It might be difficult finding and understanding what these parameters are doing. Also, all critical parameters is accessible and there is no limits to setting any values. So let's take speed change factor for an example. Setting this too low or too high might be dangerous for the vehicle. So with ServiceTool, you can make sure any parameter can only be set within safe limits. So that's the background of why we created ServiceTool. The existing Inmotion tool, the Drivetool, is very capable but has a steep learning curve. Drivetool is well suited for internal users as well as customers' research and development personnel. It provides a high degree of freedom but a risk of making mistakes. So we had many customers demanding for a tool that is easier to use, easy to install, limited in access with less risk of making mistakes. They wanted to do a full vehicle diagnostics and configuration instead of a single node access. Okay, let's talk about the Inmotion EPF file format. It's an embedded software for an Inmotion product and it is released as an EPF file. This file is used by anyone that interacts with the product for doing parameter changes, software download and troubleshooting. A PC tool can use the EPF to download new application software, that would be the hex part, or to interact with the object dictionary and error logs. The object dictionary contains all information about all parameters such as data type, default value, minimum and maximum value, description for each parameter, and the diagnostic information is interpreting the error codes and giving you a full description. Then in ServiceTool, we use those EPF and associate each EPF with each node, together with some vehicle-specific settings like bitrate and your user interface definition. So you can customize each parameter, setting your own limits, changing the description and many more things, all together compressed into one file. With this file, you can then connect to the vehicle, do your parameterization, measurements, troubleshooting, or software download. So back for our example. So in ServiceTool, instead of all these files, we then compress them all into one file. And with this file, we can then connect to all nodes simultaneously. ServiceTool has many features. It comes with an easy Windows installation package with configuration file association, meaning any SVDF file will directly open the program. It has an easy one-click connection, a multi-node support. We have the Configurator version for advanced users. This is the version that creates the vehicle file, the SVDF. We have the service version for limited access. This version uses the vehicle file, the SVDF. It supports for the most common USB CAN dongles. It can read and write predefined parameters. We can set the parameter limit. Does a controlled software download. We can easily read event logs and create reports. Create parameter dump files, meaning a complete upload of all parameters for troubleshooting. We have the configuration copy and paste between vehicles. We have a CAN logger, a SDO Signal Plotter, a health view. Unlike Drivetool, ServiceTool works with different USB CAN dongles. We support Quasar, XAT, ISCON, Vector, and PeakCAN. The multi-node support interacts with all nodes in the vehicle, so parameters from different nodes can be seen in the same view simultaneously. So here we have a screenshot of the actual program, and this is the Configurator version. In the Configurator version, we can add, edit, or remove any nodes. In this example, we have 3 nodes here. When adding or editing a node, we select the current software version for each node, or the software version that the node should be upgraded to. You can then create your own parameter groups, and with a simple drag and drop, add any parameter you feel associated with this group. Each group is divided in a read list and a write list. Any parameter added to the write list will give the user the ability to change its value. Each parameter could then also be edited to set its maximum or minimum values. So after that, any user with the service version has limited access. It can only use the predefined vehicle file, the SVDF file. It can only read and write those predefined parameters and within their limits. They can read error and event logs. They could perform a controlled software download if you have given them a new EPF. Create a parameter dump file of the entire vehicle. This is useful for troubleshooting. They could also access the CAN logger to record a session, and also the SDO plotter. When doing a software download, ServiceTool makes sure we do a controlled software download. All nodes can be updated with just one click. And it also makes sure that the correct software is downloaded to the correct node. This means the service operator is only allowed to download the predefined software given by the configurator. Any user can read event logs and error logs, active events and such, and if needed, all logs can be saved to a report file. We also have the vehicle configuration, a copy and paste feature. So what this does is it takes selected parameters from your vehicle file, connects to the vehicle, upload all these values and save them to a file. This file can then be used in ServiceTool when connected to some other vehicle. You can then download all these parameters and its values into the new vehicle. So you could say you have copied the first vehicle and pasted it into another one. So you have 2 vehicles behaving in the same way. The plotter is useful for visualizing the parameter values. It is fully interactive and you can do several measurements and also record everything to a plotter log. ServiceTool has a CAN logger to read the entire CAN bus. It is very easy to filtering the signals and to record any session. And these files can be saved either as a text file or a BLF file for analyzation in Canalizer. We also have what we call health view, a kind of quick way to see a vehicle status, where we could see the software article number, item type, serial number, number of working hours and such. But most important, here you can view the operation log view, or the power stage and motor temperature. So here you get a lot of information on how the unit have been used. If creating a parameter dump file or a parameter configuration file, this can be saved into the vehicle file and can later be accessed to switch between different setups or using the parameter dump file to do a virtual connection to the file instead of a vehicle. So everything is stored into a single file, and this makes it much more easier when multiple persons are using the same file. ServiceTool supports parameter reading and writing for any CAN-open capable nodes, preferably with the EPF for EDS file for object dictionary description, but parameters can also be manually added. Software download and error code interpretation is only for Inmotion products. This is the end of the presentation. Normally I would do a live demonstration of ServiceTool now. So if you are interested to learn more, we have detailed video tutorials on every feature. Thank you for watching. Please contact us if you have any questions, want to purchase our products, or have any feature requests.